Hello students and welcome again to the Data Classes by St. Paul's. And today we are going to start our fourth chapter, and this is your last chapter of your unit first. So before we start our chapter, we just recap about our third chapter, what we have learned in the third chapter. Actually we have learned in the third chapter about the northern plains, the Satluj river basin, the Ganga river basin, the Brahmaputra river basin, and about the life in that region. And today our topic is the Western Desert. Okay, in the previous chapter we have learned about the northern plains, and today we are going to start a fourth chapter, which is Western Desert. Okay, or in this chapter we will learn about the introduction about the Western Desert, climate of the region, life in the region, and development in the region. So let's start. Okay, the state of Rajasthan lies to the southwest of the northern plains. The Aravalli Hills divide it into two parts. The western part is a big desert and the land is covered with sand. This is called the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. Okay, it forms a boundary between India and Pakistan. And do you know about 85% of the Thar Desert is in India, and remaining about 15% part is in the Pakistan. Okay, let me show you. We are just talking about the Western Desert. This is the part which we call it is the northern plains. Okay, so the state of Rajasthan lies to the south west of the northern plains. The south and the west to the northern plains. Okay, and Aravalli Hills. This boundary is showing the Aravalli Hills. This is the Aravalli Hills. Aravalli Hills divides it into the two parts. Okay, the western part is a big desert and the land is covered with sand. Okay, and this is called the Great Indian Desert or the Western Desert, or we can say that the Thar Desert. Okay, what we can say that? Thar Desert. Okay, and the Thar Desert make the boundary between the Pakistan and India, and about 85% of Thar Desert is in India, and about 15% remaining part of Thar Desert is in Pakistan. Okay, so the Thar Desert is the most densely populated desert in the world. There are so many people living in this Thar Desert. Okay, with the population density is about 83 people per square kilometer. It is the largest desert in India. Okay, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, Parmar, etc. are some major cities of Thar Desert. There are so many people living in these major cities. That's why it is called the most densely populated desert in the world. Okay, so Jaipur is the capital city of Rajasthan, and it is also called the Pink City. Okay, the Indian Desert extends from Aravalli Hills to the border of Pakistan in the west, as I showed you. The Indian Desert extends from the Aravalli Hills. This one is Aravalli Hills. Okay, and to the border of the Pakistan in the west. To the border of the Pakistan in the west. Okay, and from Run of Kutch in the southwest to the border of Haryana and Punjab. There is a Run of Kutch. You can say the Run of Kutch. And from Run of Kutch to the Punjab plains. It extends from the Run of Kutch to the Punjab and Haryana plains. Okay, so it is a very large area. So the Indian desert is partly sandy and partly rocky. Jodhpur is the largest city in the desert. Desert receive very little rainfall, and so they are very dry and sandy. As we all know that in the desert area there is very little rainfall, or we can say there is no rainfall at least. So that's why it is very dry and sandy. Okay, so let's talk about the climate of the region. Desert is a flat area covered with a thick sheet of loose sand. At some places there are small hills of sand called sand dunes. Let me show you. There are some small hills in the Thar desert, or we can see in this area. This type of sand hills or the hills of sand are called the sand dunes. Okay, there are so many sand on this hills. Okay, so at some places there are small hills of sand called sand dunes. These sand dunes may rise to a height of 500 feet. Hot and dry winds blow here, and thus the sand dunes keep shifting all the time. When the winds blow or the dust storm came, the sand hills or the sand dunes shift their place to another side. Okay? When the winds come, these sand dunes just shifted to the another place. Okay? Understood? So these sand dunes may be rise to a height of 500 feet. Hot and dry winds blow here, and thus the sand dunes keep shifting all the time. Dust storms are common in the months of May and June. In the desert area, the summer season is very hot, up to 50-100 degrees centigrade, and the winters are very cold, from 1 to 10 degrees centigrade. Okay? After the sunset, the sand cools down very quickly, and thus the nights are very cold. There is hardly any rainfall, and thus vegetation is scarce. Okay? There are no rainfall in this area. Okay? That's why the vegetation is very scarce. Okay? So let's talk about the life in this region. Women wear a long skirt called ghagra, choli, and kurti with an orni. Okay, and if you want to see, you can see in your books also. The turban called pagdi, pajama, angrakha, dhoti, waistband, and kamarband are integral clothing of men. Okay. Some people travel from one place to another in search of food and water. So they are called the banjaras or the nomadic people. Okay. Houses have flat roofs and small windows. Let me show you. The houses which are built in that areas has the flat roof and small windows. Okay, the small windows. Okay, so houses have flat roofs and small windows. The walls are thick to keep heat out and let the house remain cool. Okay, the languages spoken are Sindhi, Marwari, Rajasthan, and Hindi. Ghumar is a traditional folk dance of Rajasthan. It is performed by the women. Okay? There are no permanent rivers and only small streams exist. There are no any permanent rivers and only some small streams exist which are usually dry because there is no any rainfall. So they start flowing only when it rains. Whenever the rain comes, it flow. Okay. So we can say there are no permanent river in this area. So let's start our next topic, which is vegetation. Vegetation is limited to scattered thorny bushes. It is difficult to build roads and railway lines in a desert. Okay. So the camel is the chief mode of transportation, and it is also called the ship of desert. We all knows. Camels can live for days without food and water. That's why the people which are living in these areas use the camels for the transportation. They are also used to plug the fields and draw waters from wells. Camel hair is used to make clothes and good quality paint brushes, and its skin to make tents. So camel is very useful in this area. It is also used for the transportation, and its skin, hair are also used for different kinds of things. Okay, water is generally scarce, but at a few places the underground water comes up to the surface and forms big pools, and such a place is called an oasis. And if you have your book, you can see the oasis. Okay, some trees like date palms, kikar, babool and grass grow in this oasis. Small villages also develop around the oasis, and the people which are just around the oasis, they use this water for the irrigation and also for the drinking. Now let's talk about the development in the region. The soil in the desert is quite fertile, but it is difficult to grow crops because there is little or no water. Okay, so the situation is now changing. Okay, we can see that the soil is desert. The soil in the desert is quite fertile, but it is difficult to grow crops because there is no rain or there is no water. But now situation is changing. The government is making serious effort to improve the life of the people in this desert area. Indira Gandhi Canal has been constructed to carry water from confluences of rivers Satluj and Beas to the most arid regions of the state. Besides providing water for agriculture, the canal supplies drinking water to the hundred of the people in far-flung areas. Okay, so now the government is serious. It is improving the life in this region. A big farm has already been developed at Suratgarh in Rajasthan. The blooming of the desert has begun. Okay, now the blooming of the desert has begun. Deserts are generally formed because of shortage of water in a place, but humans are also responsible for creating a desert. It is very serious matter because desert generally formed because of shortage of water in a place, but humans are also responsible for that. If we destroy the forest and allow the cattle, sheep and goats to graze the grassland faster, then what happened? They can't produce fresh grass and the land become desert. So we are also responsible for making the desert our earth. Cutting down of forest and overgrazing of grassland must be controlled. We can do it by planting trees and shrubs and keeping the land covered with grasses. And we can also grow many types of crops by using the limited water resources properly. This will help in improving the life of the people in the desert area. So we can say that the life in this area is very hard. People survive for the water. People survive for the food. Okay, they have no proper transportation. They used camels for the transportation. Okay, they just move one place to another place for searching the food and water. That's why it is very hard life in this area. So if we improve, if we do something in this area, the area will be improved and the life in this area will be improved. Okay students, so this chapter is over, and if you don't understand any topic or any point, you can ask me tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, so this is your last chapter and this chapter is over. Till then, just keep study at your home and try to understand what is written in your book. Okay, so goodbye.